Hey everybody, how you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to go through the rhythm scale with you guys, do a little tutorial on just some of the timing issues that you might run into when you're playing this exercise. Obviously, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. Those will be pretty easy. Eighth note triplets, not too bad. But the weird ones like half note triplets and fivelets and sevenlets and stuff like that are those are going to be pretty tough. So I just want to explain, use a little phonics method, and hopefully that'll help you guys to figure out some of these. Okay, a couple things to remember is, first of all, if it's an even number, eighth notes, quarter notes, it's an even number, those are all going to line up your right hand with the metronome. Okay, if it's an odd number, a triplet, a three, a fivelet, the sevens, those are going to alternate hands on the downbeats, and it'll make sense in a second. Okay, the slower I go, the more I can play staccato motion and just freeze down, just leave it down for a little while. Okay, as I start to get faster, I start to just get a little bit more of a flow going, more of a legato motion in my playing. And there's another video lesson that'll explain all that stuff. If you haven't seen that yet, check that out first, the 4 strokes, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's do each one of these little rhythm scales, each part of the rhythm scale, and see how that goes, okay? The other thing is that as you switch from one subdivision to the next one, it needs to be an immediate switch. Okay, if you're going from eighth note triplets, triplet to 16th notes, triplet, alligator, alligator, that type of thing, or triplet, 3E enda, 4E enda, that kind of thing. Okay, you need to make that an immediate switch. Okay, I tend to struggle with the fivelets when I go from the 16th notes to the fives. That's usually the one that always takes me a second to try to figure out. Okay. So the more you guys can work on those weird ones, the better your timing is going to be altogether, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to move the camera so it's at an angle where you guys can see the drum a little better. You won't be able to see my pretty face as much, but hey, that's the way it goes. All right. So here's my snare drum. Okay, and so I put this ring and stuff like that. I wanted to get it as dead as possible so that we can just hear, you know, more of a tight rhythm coming, or a tight sound coming out of the drum. Okay? All right, so here we go. We're setting the metronome to 90 beats per minute. There it is. Okay, and let's do our half notes first, okay? Pretty self-explanatory, right? Try to get those to line up perfectly with the metronome. Okay? If it's perfect with the metronome's going to disappear. If I'm a little off, those are off. Right? So try to work on getting that perfectly with it. Okay? One thing that's going to help you to really nail these is to think a triplet, 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 triplet. Okay? You can go one subdivision higher, 1E enda, 2E enda, 3E enda, 4E enda, but I'd rather you think of these half notes as triplets, okay? So triplet, 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 okay? And the reason why I want you thinking of those in eighth note triplets is because the next one, half note triplets, is going to be in the same triplet subdivision. So rather than switching, it's just best if we, for what we're doing right now, if we stay in triplet for the first 4, so. All right, so here we go, half note, triplet, triplet. And now here's the half note triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, so there's 3 parts to the triplet, right? There's, let me see if I can get, yeah, so it's like, let me see, yeah, triplet, 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 okay? So we're emphasizing different parts of those beats, all right? That's going to help you to really line that up just right. Triplet, 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 okay? The thing to keep in mind is that when you say triplet, triplet, the tri is always on the beep. Triplet, 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 Okay, so keep that in mind as you're playing this. Triplet, 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 triplet. Now you're in an odd number, right? Triplet, half note triplets. So the downbeat is going to switch hands. It's going to start right hand. Now it's a left hand, but you'll recover back to a right hand afterwards. Okay, so think about that. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, the other thing to think about is that the second note, the beep is going to happen first. Beep, beep, right? Beep. And then the third one's going to happen right before that next beep. So triplet, triplet, triplet. Okay, those are weird, I know. Okay, and the next one, super easy. Or is it easy? Triplet, triplet. Depends. What kind of standard are you holding yourself to? Do you want it perfectly so that the metronome disappears? I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking triplet, 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 triplet. Okay, and then the next one, quarter note triplets, again is another triplet subdivision. And quarter note triplets. And the phonics that I use for that is pass the peanut, pass the peanut, pass the nut, pass the nut. That's what your drumming is doing. The P, the pass the peanut, the P is the beat from the metronome. So pass the peanut, peanut, P, P. Pass the peanut, pass the peanut, pass the peanut. Okay, so that's how I figured that one out. Okay, now those are all the triplet subdivisions. Now we're going to switch to an even subdivision. 8 notes. And since it's a right hand, since it's even, it's going to be right-handed. Right, left, right, left. Okay, those should be pretty easy. Okay, next one should be kind of easy too. But just think that the downbeats, or every beat, you're going to switch hands. Okay, a right and a left, right, left. Okay, and I got a nice little flow going on. Okay, I'm pretty legato. I'm not super legato. If I was playing fortissimo, yeah. Right now I'm playing mezzo forte. Yeah, we should have talked about that beforehand, but oh well, this lesson's not really about those dynamics quite yet. For now, we're just going to keep everything right in the middle, mezzo forte, as far as our heights, okay? Nice and comfortable. Okay, and then we're going to switch from 8th note triplets. The next subdivision up is 16th notes. And that's got a nice legato flow to it. The hard thing is going to be going from the 8th note triplets to those 16th notes. And staying in time, okay? Make sure you always stay in time. Okay, next one is pretty tough. 5-lets, okay? Or quintuplets, however you want to say it. Okay, the word that I use for that is hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. And again, it's an odd number, so you are going to alternate hands. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus. Right, left. If you want to play with some training wheels on, then you can just think about putting the accents on the downbeats. That's pretty cool to do in the beginning, but just make sure your final product is everything up. next one is sextuplets. Okay, ziggity, 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 ziggity. And a ziggity, 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 and that all lines up in your right hand. Right. There's the training wheels. Okay. Those are really hard to do just out of nowhere with nothing else going on. Okay, and then your last one is your 30-second notes. Make sure that you stay nice and low. Everything I've been playing so far is just pivoting from my wrist. I'm holding onto my fulcrum and my fingers. 30-second notes are kind of the first time that I'm at a speed where I can actually just dribble with my fingers underneath, keep my fulcrum more in place and not use so much of my wrist. My wrist is working. But my fingers are doing a lot too. So, and here's how you check that. Okay, just put the stick in, you face it backwards, and that'll tell you what your fingers are doing. Right, and if you're using wrist. Little trick. Right. This check pattern is inside of that. Notice I'm not playing it high. I'm keeping it at a height that I can control. Okay? So there you go, you guys. It's the rhythm scale. Hope you enjoyed that. Practice, practice, practice. All right, we'll see you soon.